All systems ready.
Hey everybody, this is the Master Rules Lawyer coming back at you again with continuing our progression going through ranking all the spells in D&D. We're currently going through the cantrips and we're looking at Create Bonfire today. Here's a quick rundown of how I'm doing my rankings. I'm going to get less in detail about these as we go along, so you'll want to look at the spells towards the beginning, where I'll go into how we do the ranking a little bit more, because I don't, for those of you, anybody who's watching this through, you don't need to hear that a million times. So basically, we rank it. I'm ranking everything from S to D tier, with S being the highest. The spells that you go out of your way to get, might even take a feat or multi-class, or it's that good you go out of your way to get it. A class, very good, almost always something you're going to consider if it's available to you, but maybe you don't go out of your way to pick it up. B tier is good, maybe a little more situational. It might be campaign dependent or build dependent, but still lots of good uses for it. C tier is going to be, maybe there's some uses for this particular spell, but oftentimes there are better options. But there are times where you're going to be glad maybe you have it. And then D tier are just the total traps that pretty much never want to take. There's almost always something better that can do something that can do the job better, or the effect is just totally lackluster, or sometimes you can recreate the effects with an item or an ability check. So when we're looking at Create Bonfire, again, this is a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action, a range of 60 feet, and it creates a 5-foot cube. Components are verbal and somatic. Duration is 1 minute. It does require concentration, so keep that in mind. Conjuration School of Magic. It does require a dex save for anyone that goes into it or starts their turn there, I believe. And then, of course, damage is fire. So you create a bonfire on the ground that you can see within range until the spell ends. The magic bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast the spell must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage. The creature must also make the saving throw when it moves into the bonfire space for the first time on our turn or ends the turn there. Okay, so I misspoke. It's ending the turn there, not beginning their turn there. The bonfire ignites flammable objects in its area that aren't being worn or carried, and like pretty much all the damaging cantrips, or most of them, the spell's damage increases by 1 damage die for upon each level of 5th, 11th, and 17th level. This is available for druids, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, and artificers. So a lot of classes have this available to them. This is out of the Elemental Evil Player's Companion. So it's been around for a little while. So, let's dive right in here and let's talk about what we can do with Create Bonfire. So I like Create Bonfire. It's got some cool applications. It's not, this actually allows you to create a flame. And, there's lots of times where that can be useful, whether it's with a survival type campaign where you really need to be able to cook your food, or, you just need to create a campfire, and you can light. It's fire. I don't have to explain to you guys all the uses for fire. What I like about this is, it can kind of be like a battlefield control type spell. If you are running something like Eldritch Blasts with the right invocations, or you can use Thorn Whip or Shield Master Shove, different things like that to manipulate your enemies around the battlefield. This is a cool thing to have for somebody in your party to pick up dealing some pretty regular damage. You can definitely abuse this thing a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be game breaking, even if you have a build around it, but there's definitely something there. Dex saving throw, kind of neutral about that. A lot of enemies have good dex saving throws, but others, not amazing. So there's a good chance you can get this off a lot of time. Don't love that it takes concentration, but again, this is an at will spell, so not entirely surprising since it goes on for a minute that it's going to require your concentration. Um, so I mean, what do we think about this? 60 feet range, pretty solid for a control type spell that you can do just again and again and again. Um, you know, having this at will can be pretty useful, and there's just a lot of implications for being able to start a fire when you need to. It doesn't have the limitations maybe of like shooting something with fire bolts, where there's going to be question of okay, is this something that can be ignited with firing a fireball out it? Different DMs are going to rule different ways on that kind of thing. This is pretty cut and dry. Um, I don't think it's amazing, but it's a solid spell that you're often going to get use out of. Um, so yeah, I mean, are you going to go out of your way to pick it up? No. Is it going to be a spell that you're like, if you have it available, it's going to be a top contender? Probably not. But if you have room for an extra cantrip, if you're able to pick it up, you're going to get some mileage out of this. So I wouldn't say it's going to be just a rare spell where you're just occasionally, very rarely, maybe 2 or 3 times in the campaign. I mean, I've had uh, party members in the game that IDM gets use out of it, and games that I've played, I've seen a lot of use get come out of this. So the regular mileage that you get out of this, will be it in battle or out of battle. I think it definitely deserves a B tier ranking. Um, it's far from a trap. It's definitely not going to be something that I think you're gonna regret if you take it. You're gonna, it does what it says on the box. Create a bonfire, and that's enough. So, what do you guys think about creating a bonfire? You think I'm overselling it, underselling it? Do you have some cool stories about the time that create bonfire was really effective in your games? Do you have a character that really took advantage of this? Let me know your thoughts, and of course, any likes and subscribes are certainly appreciated. Um, I'll try to be a little bit more uh, diligent about getting these out, but you never can say what's going to come up. But the plan is still to go all the way to ninth level spells, and cover them all. So we'll get through them. And any comments that you guys have, love to hear them. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.